Sandy, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. I wanted to thank everybody for giving us some of your time and listening to our recording on Facebook training for social media fundraisers. I'm Jen Ersick. I'm a former co-chair of the Charlotte LUNGe Forward, and with me today is Sandy Oler and
Hey, everybody.
Rachel Leonard, who is one of the current chairs of the Charlotte LUNGe Forward.
Good evening, everyone.
So this is just going to be a very informal training. Sandy and Rachel, you're free to ask questions along the way. And we're going to start off in the first portion of the training focused on basics of Facebook use. So things like how to set up your account, what's your homepage or your timeline, how to add friends, creating posts, sharing posts, tagging people, adding photos, that kind of thing. We may have time to touch on using Facebook Messenger, but if we don't have time for that today, we'll save that for another training session. And then the latter part of the training will focus on using your participant center as part of your fundraising efforts for the Charlotte LUNGe Forward. And the Participant Center is a tool that every registered race attendee has access to. It's free, and it can really help boost your awareness and fundraising efforts amongst your family and friends. So we'll spend some time talking about that as well. So at this point, I think we'll all turn off our videos and we will go ahead and get started with the training. I'm going to share my screen. And so Sandy, if you could just give me a heads up when you're able to see my screen, that would be very helpful.
Got it.
Awesome, thank you. So the first thing I just wanted to do was point out that we do have a nice resource at the charlottelungeforward.org website. So if you type in charlottelungeforward.org and then you scroll about halfway down, you will see you do have a bunch of resources here to help you with your fundraising efforts. So there's a team captain toolkit, there's a fundraising guide, and then there's sort of a do-it-yourself grassroots fundraising toolkit. The one that I'm going to use to guide our training today is this Facebook how-to guide. So you can click on that Facebook how-to guide and you'll have step-by-step resources for everything that we're going to cover today in the training. It's really, really easy to follow instructions. Z, one of our lung cancer initiative interns, put this guide together and she did an excellent job. So hopefully this will serve as a great resource for you guys. So I just wanted to point that out, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So the first thing in the guide is directed towards setting up a Facebook account. So I'm going to assume you don't have a Facebook account here. Most people do, but just in case you don't, if you go to facebook.com, well, let me log out here really quickly so I can show you guys. So you can just click on this little green tab here, create new account. And it's just a very easy first name, last name, email, password, birthday, and gender, and then click sign up. And then you'll have to confirm your account using the email address or the phone number that you've entered in here, but you will get a notification of how to do that. It's very simple. Once you've already set up your account, when you come back to the Facebook page, you'll see over here that you'll have the option of just clicking on your account to sign in, or you can add a different account. Like if you're setting one up for a spouse or a child, one of your children, you can just add another account there. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my account, and I am going to put in my password here. Let's click remember password so we don't have to do that again. And this is what you see when you first log in. So it's pretty complicated. You have a bunch of options over here. You have friends, groups, events, marketplace. You have some shortcuts down here, which are things that you utilize a lot, groups or pages. You can see we have a private group for the Charlotte Lunge Forward 5K Planning Committee over here. You have some saved posts. So I like to save recipes a lot. So mine typically has recipes saved recently. And then you also have like a quick list of some of your contacts that you interact with, as well as group conversations. At the top here, you see a bunch of pictures and different people. So you can see Ashley Hart, Middle James Brewing, Misty Whitaker. These are stories. We're not going to talk much about stories today, but just know, like, if you click on them, it's usually like a little like short clips, that videos or pictures that people post, and it'll circle through all of those for each person. So like I mentioned, we're not going to talk about stories here at the top today, at least unless we have enough time. We'll probably skip that for today, but I just wanted you to know what those were, because they can also be a very good tool. The nice thing about stories, just briefly, is that with the stories, you can, and it's a little difficult to see here, but on the mobile version, you can often see how many people and exactly who has viewed your story. So sometimes that can be nice if you're trying to see, who's actually looking at my stuff. This middle here are your posts or your feed. So this is all of the stuff that's going to populate for you, and all of the posts that are like relevant to, your things that you've been looking at or following or talking about with your friends, because we all know that Facebook like listens to you nowadays. So this is all the stuff in the middle that's going to show up for you. And so you'll notice as well that at the top of this timeline, you have a space to create your own post. So this is asking me what's on my mind, Jennifer. So if I click on that, I can type in whatever and click post, and immediately that will post to my timeline. So I'm not going to post this right now, but I do want to jump to my timeline and show you the difference. So these are posts from other people on my timeline, on my homepage, or sorry, on my feed. And then if I go to this little icon at the top with my face, that's going to show me the stuff that I've posted and the stuff that's relevant to me. So you can see here, I shared this post recently from the Lung Cancer Initiative. We're going to talk about sharing in just a little bit. I've also shared this post from the Lung Cancer Initiative. And then I shared this really funny picture of my friend Lisa with her horseshoe crab on her head. So that's the difference. So your feed, your timeline is items that are relevant to you, and your feed is the stuff that's showing up on your homepage or your timeline here that's from other people. And you could see it's even refreshed since we were last on this page. So now there's a new post from Scientific American that's showing up.
So Jen, I have a question.
Sure.
So when I post, a lot of times I'll share something about the race, and I have a lot of people in my network, I guess, and some people say they don't see it. Why would some people see it and some people not see it on their feed?
Yeah, so it has to do with Facebook's, so there are a couple of things at play. So Facebook uses algorithms to decide what to show you. So you can see that this post from Scientific America was posted 18 hours ago, but I'm just now seeing it for the first time. So it must have been like lower in their algorithm for things that I would want to look at. So that's maybe why it didn't show up initially. Posts also have to do with privacy settings. So we're not going to talk, I don't think we're going to talk too much about privacy settings in this training, but there are ways to make posts available to be seen by different individuals. And we'll talk, I think we could touch on that a little bit while we're talking about posts. So I'll be sure to share a little bit more about that momentarily.
Okay, thank you. That was helpful.
Yeah. So if you have a new Facebook account, the first thing you're going to want to do after you create your profile or make a picture, which we're also not going to talk about today, but I'd be happy to help anybody if they needed help. The first thing you're going to want to do after that is add friends. And so the whole idea behind Facebook is that you're friends with different people and that you connect with your friends and you can interact with them on this platform. So I am actually going to, for a moment, let me pause for a second. And Sandy, I'm going to use you as an example. I'm going to unfriend you right now. So I'm going to go, this home will always bring you back to your home page. So this is just where we were. So let's say Sandy and I are not friends and I want to become friends with Sandy. So I'm going to tap Sandy's name into the search bar here. And then I'm going to click on her picture or her name, and it's going to bring up her page or her Facebook profile. And so I could see, yes, that's the Sandy that I want to add. And then I can see some of her posts because right now we're not friends. So some of the posts are set up to only be viewed by friends, which can help if you're trying to keep things a little private. Like maybe you don't want the whole world to see that you're cooking risotto or whatever. You only want your friends to see that. You can make a post that's targeted only at your friends. So I'm going to go ahead and add Sandy as my friend. And Sandy is going to get a request that will say, Jennifer Ersick wants to be friends with you. And then she'll have to either approve or deny that request. So Sandy, if you don't mind, if you could just be friends with me again, I would appreciate it. So that's it. That's as easy as it goes. And depending on how quickly Sandy accepts my friend request, it could be, today, tomorrow, whenever, then we would become friends again. And so you could do that with as many people as you want. And so Sandy must have approved my request because now we're friends. And you can add people as a favorite. So I'm going to add Sandy as my favorite because I want to see, I want to have quick access to all of her posts. And there's a place, it's a little more prominent on the mobile device, but you can choose to see only posts from your favorite people. And that kind of narrows down everything that would show up in your homepage or your timeline.
Do you have to be on their page to add as favorite? Can you do it from your own page?
So Sandy, I could add you as a favorite, but you can't add me as a favorite unless you go to me on your page and click favorite here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And then unfollow just means you're still going to stay friends with that person. So you would see everything on their page that friends could see, but you won't see those posts in your timeline or your homepage.
And you said you can't see this on the mobile app, correct?
You can see this. Yep, you can see this on the mobile app as well.
Really? Okay, I'm looking.
Yep. So on the mobile
I see it.
Yeah. So on the mobile app, if you start I'm glad you brought up the mobile app, Rachel, because sometimes things are a little different on the mobile app than they are on the computer. We decided to do this training on the computer initially, and we are going to potentially do a mobile app training at some point. But on the mobile app, if you're scrolling, you scroll and then you kind of scroll down and then you scroll back up and you'll see where it says your feed, favorites, and then recent. And so if you click favorites, that's only going to show you posts from people who are your favorites.
Okay.
Great question.
Thank you for that. Because
Yeah,
this is
great.
primarily the only way I access Facebook is through my phone.
Yeah. Yeah. The mobile app is actually very easy to use. And so there pretty much everything you can do on the computer, you can do on the mobile app. It's just a little, sometimes it can be a little different or in a different place.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we talked about signing into Facebook. We talked about the homepage or the timeline, as well as your feed and your own posts. We talked about adding friends. So now, and then we talked about, what it means to be a favorite, how to unfollow somebody, and then unfriend just means you're not going to be able to see posts that they only share with their friends if you're not friends with somebody. So let me explain that a little bit more. So I'm going to go over here back to my home page, and I'm going to go down here and I'm going to create a post. So you can see here that you have my name. It shows me that I'm creating this post. If I click this, I can select the audience that can see my post. So if I select public, this means that anybody on Facebook, whether or not I'm friends with them, will be able to see my post. If I click friends, that's going to limit your post's visibility to only people that you're friends with. And then if I click friends accept, so say like you want to post something, but you don't want all your work friends to see it, you can create a list and you can select people that you don't want the post to display to. And then you can also post something that you only want specific friends to see. So sometimes I post things that I only want my husband to see on my page. Like inside joke or, maybe a picture of me when I was 2 years old, something like that, that you might only want like your mom or a few people to see. And then you can also post things that only you would see. So you have a lot of different options. But for the most part, people typically pick friends or public. Any questions about selecting your audience before I move on? Okay. So Sandy, that should answer your question on why sometimes people can't see your post. So maybe you accidentally changed this to, only you or something like that.
Gotcha.
So you've started your post, you've selected the audience you wanted. I'm going to do public for this post because I want everybody to be able to see the post that I'm going to make. And I'm going to I want to remind everyone to register for my team for the Charlotte Lunge Forward. So let me think here. All right. So I'm going to talk about hashtags really quickly too. You can do a hashtag like this. See how it says Charlotte Lunge Forward fewer than 1,000 posts? If I click that, it highlights that. That's going to show anybody that types up here in the search, hashtag Charlotte Lunge Forward. Because my post is public, my post would show up for them and they would be able to see what I wrote. And I'll show you an example of this at the end of this portion on creating a post. So let's say the Charlotte Lunge Forward is less than 30 days away. Don't forget to register for Team Warriors in White. That's my team. And then I'm going to type in my registration link here. Well, let's ignore that for a minute. So I just remembered my website here. And so that populates my personal page for the Charlotte Lunge Forward here. So when you put in a website, it usually gives you a preview in your post about your website. So I'm just gonna, for the sake of the demo right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and post this. So I'm gonna post this, and then I'm gonna go down here, and you can see just now Jennifer Ersick posted this, and you can see all these other posts from different people because we're on the home page or the timeline, and we're not on our personal page, which is up here. So you can see there's my hashtag. So now if somebody were to search for a hashtag, let's say they did Charlotte LUNGe forward, you can see that my post showed up here right at the top. It's the most recent one. And then you can see, look, there's some posts from Noli Futch. There's a post from the Lung Cancer Initiative. There's a post from Javon Rumford, who is actually someone who lives in Georgia and participated virtually in the Charlotte LUNGe Forward. So you can see, like, you can kind of pull all these posts using this hashtag. So people search on hashtags all the time on Facebook. So that's one thing I wanted to show you guys. And then let me go back to my post here. Okay, so then I mentioned when you type in a website, it usually gives you a preview. So if I click on this, it's going to take me to my personal page for the Charlotte LUNGe Forward. And then anybody can either join my team or donate to my team. All right, so let me go back for a moment. Oh, hi, Liz.
Hey,
Thank you for joining us.
well, thanks for doing it.
Yeah. Okay, so we just created a post, and I wanted to show you a couple other things on creating posts. So this time I'm gonna go back to friends. I'm gonna select my audience, and I'm gonna choose my friends. I want only my friends to see this post. And let me go here. If you wanted to upload a video or a photo, you can click on this little icon down here at the bottom, add to your post. If you wanted to tag somebody else in your post, you could click here. And I'm going to show you what all these things will do. Check in is another option. So check in is for locations. Tag people is for friends, and then photo video, of course, is for photo video. So I clicked on photo video, and I'm going to add photos and videos from my mobile device. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to click here on add videos and photos, and it's going to pull up, any of our photos that you might have on your computer. So I'm going to pick this one, our Smith family Christmas photo, and you can see that our photo has now populated within our post. And you can click here. You could add more photos and videos. You can edit the photo. So if I wanted to crop it, I could crop it a little bit. You could tag people in the photo, that kind of thing. So I'm going to go back to edit for a second, and I'm going to tag this photo, and I'm going to click this guy right here. That's my husband. His name is Adam. And when I click his face, it pulls up people, a list of people, probably populated by like your closest people or something like that. So I'm going to click on his name, and that's tagging him in the photo. Okay. Now you can also you could also go here to tag someone, but we just tagged him in the photo already, so we don't need to do that again. But if I wanted to click here and tag somebody else, I could tag my mother-in-law, Cindy Smith. So now they're both tagged in the photo. And then let's just say this was when we were in Georgia visiting our family for the holidays. So I can click on check in, and I can say wherever I am. So I think we were actually in Smyrna, and then you can click, whichever of these you choose you think is the best fit. So I'm going to choose Smyrna, Georgia. And I'm actually going to change this to only me for the purposes of this exercise so that only I see this post get posted. And say I think I'm done. This is good. I like this post. I'm going to click post. And there it goes. It's up there. So now I can check this by going to, well, it shows up here in my timeline because that's the most recent thing, but I can check this by going to my own page. And then I can see, well, it might be a little behind here. Let's give it a refresh. There's my picture with my friends or my family. And you can see this little lock icon. That means that only I can see this post. And it tells me who's tagged in the post, and then it tells me where we checked in. So let's go back for a moment to our post here that we posted a few minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, and in fact. And we can see that this was a public post. You see that globe, and it's telling us that this can be seen by anybody on Facebook, whether or not we are friends. But you know what? I really wanted to check in to the Charlotte Lunge Forward event. So I'm going to click these 3 dots. These are called, people call these meatballs or ellipses. I like meatballs better. So I'm going to click the meatballs, and I'm going to go to edit post. And I'm going to check in. I want to check in to the Charlotte Lunge Forward, the race. So I'm going to type in Charlotte Lunge Forward. And there it is. It comes right up. So I'm going to click that. And then I'm going to click Save Post. And now you'll notice it says Jennifer Ersick is at the Charlotte Lunge Forward 5K run, walk, and rally. So if I click on that, I can see tons of information about the Charlotte Lunge Forward 5K run, walk, and rally. So I can see this post that I just made. I can see this post from last year, from the 2020 lunge, actually 2 years ago, I guess. But you can see kind of anybody who was at the event and checked in. You can see their posts. So I don't know this person, but they apparently were at the Charlotte Lunge in 2019. So you can see a lot of different things.
Hey, Jen.
Yes.
So can you, just talking about the races and about Lunge Forward and about LCI, can we tag LCI? Can we tag the Lung Cancer Initiative so that they see, so that our organization sees the post and then they can share it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So you can go, we'll go back to the same post. So we're going to go and we're going to edit this post again. And we're going to use something called the @ symbol, or I'll probably butcher this word, ampersand, you know, this thing, the @ symbol. So anytime you do @lung cancer, as soon as you put in lung, probably because I tag Lung Cancer Initiative all the time, it again uses algorithms to know what you use more often. If you type in Lung Cancer Initiative in North Carolina, it's going to come up, and you just click on that. And you can see again, it's highlighted here, which means it's tagged. So then if I save that, the Lung Cancer Initiative of North Carolina, depending on their settings, it may be, let's go to their site. So I can click to their site from this post actually. So, and let's do a refresh real quick. And this is the refresh up here. Sometimes it takes a little while for a post to load. And if you're trying to look for it, you just need to hit refresh. What I suspect with the Lung Cancer Initiative, like many businesses, they have to approve posts that they're tagged in, which is smart because you don't want somebody to be like, you know, I hate the Lung Cancer Initiative, and for that to show up on your page. So hopefully the Lung Cancer Initiative will approve my post at some point. But yes, that's how you would tag them in your post, Sandy.
And then it would show up on their wall?
If they approve the post, yes.
And they could share it from there?
So sharing is a little different of a concept with
Oh, okay.
Facebook. So let's actually talk about sharing next. So I'm going to say, you know what, I'm going to go to the Lung Cancer Initiative Facebook page, and I'm just going to see what kind of posts that they've posted lately. So I'm going to click, this didn't take me directly to their page, but I'm going to click on that again, and it should take me to the page. By the way, the first time you visit a page, you probably want to click this button. For me, it says liked because I've already liked the page. But if you don't like it, it's going to say, you know, if you haven't liked it yet, it'll say like, and you just click on that. That tells Facebook that you want to see posts from the Lung Cancer Initiative, and that that's the page that is important to you. Now, I use the term page differently than the term friends, because friends are your friends. They're people that, you know, have profiles of their own. Pages in Facebook are different than friends. Pages, same kind of content, same idea. You have posts and timelines and all that, but pages are set up, you know, for businesses. So you can message them, you can donate. Like, you could see it just looks a little different than when I went to Sandy's profile page. But same idea, you can still interact with them, you can still tag them, etc. So going back to what I was going to talk about next is sharing. So this last post, I thought was a great post, and I've actually already shared this post on my page, and so has Rachel. And we can tell that because when I hover over this 2 shares, it's telling me right there who has also shared this post. And then it also tells me that Paige Humble liked this post. And as Jennifer Ersick, I could like the post too. Or I could, whoops, that's not what I'm trying to do. I could love the post or whatever. Or I could comment on the post. So if I comment, I can click down here in this bubble and I can write whatever I want and then hit enter, and it will show up as a comment on their post. Now you'll also notice that I have share right here. So I've already shared this particular post, so I'm going to actually scroll down and find a different one. Let's share. Oh, look, I've shared that one too. I think I've shared a lot of these because sharing is a good thing. The more posts get shared, the more they get promoted in other people's feeds. So the more action you give a post, the more likely that post is to show up for other people. I have to dig pretty deep to find a post I haven't already shared. Let's see. Okay, here's one. Okay, this is Advocate Awards. So I want to share this post on my own personal wall or my own personal page. So if I click share, I get a bunch of options. So I can share now, and it's telling me that like the last time you shared something, you only shared it with yourself. So if you're going to share this again, you're only going to see this. It's kind of telling you. You could share it to your feed. You could send it in Messenger to somebody else. And we're not going to talk about Messenger today. You could share it to a group, a page. You could share on a friend's profile. And then you have more options down here.
Are all those options available on the mobile device? I don't remember ever seeing those.
So most of them are, let me look really quick on the mobile.
I guess when I share, I just hit share. I just click share, and I should probably look at a little further. I should hover.
Yeah, so when you click share on the mobile, it does pull up. You have the ability to type in your own text and click share now, which would share, you know, just the post or the post with your text. And then there are options for share to your story, send in Messenger, and share to a group.
So if I just hit share now, it shares to everybody in my network.
Yes, on your page. Yep. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to show this exact process. So I'm just going to click share now. It's the easiest thing to do. And so it says shared to your profile. So now if I go to my profile where I am here at the top, my face, and here's my profile, all my friends, and I scroll down, well, we're going to refresh again because it probably takes a second. And you can see there's that post that I just shared. But there's nothing like, well, first of all, I need to change because I want everybody to see this, right? So I need to change the audience to public. So now everybody could see it.
Is public the same as friends? I mean, if you said public's to anybody, so what if you just wanted it to go to your friends?
Yes, great question. So public means anybody on Facebook can see your post. Anybody, even people that you are not friends with. Friends means only your Facebook friends. Like
Okay,
only
so
people that
how did you
you're
get to that option? You just, when you hit, because the only option you said was public. So how did you get to friends if it just says public?
Yeah, so see this little globe? If you
Mhm.
hover over it and click on it, you'll
Okay,
be able to change the
I'll go
audience.
down.
Yep, and so I just changed it to friends, and now you can see like these two little people. If I click on it again, I can change it to only me, and that's where it's locked, and it's only I can see this on my page.
And then you had something before you said share on a friend's profile page. How?
Yes.
You can put something on somebody else's page without them approving it?
So you can, but some people will have their Facebook set up to where you either they have to approve your share, or some people just let other people have free reign. It just depends on how it's set up. So Liz, if you don't mind, I'll use you as an example.
Okay.
Do you have Facebook?
Yep.
Okay. Is it under Liz Hinson?
HYNSON.
Okay. So we are not yet friends, but we have two mutual friends, Paige and Emily. So I'm going to add you as a friend.
Okay.
And if you don't mind,
Well, that's weird. How come it's not showing me as a mutual friend?
so
Well,
that also probably depends on you, Sandy. You may have it set up to where some people have like a setting where they don't share their friend list.
Oh, I don't share my friends list.
Yeah. So that's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I can't tell that you're friends with Liz because you haven't chose to share your friends list. So
am I supposed to be accepting your friendship?
If you don't mind, if you can.
I'm used to doing it on the computer, so now I'm on my phone trying to see where it is on Facebook that I accept a friend.
Yeah, it probably will come up in your notifications at the bottom. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll give you a minute to figure that out. And in the meantime, I'll just keep talking for a moment.
Okay, because I don't see it.
In the meantime, I'll go back to using Sandy as an example. So, and actually you were asking about sharing on a friend's page. So I'm actually going to go back to Lung Cancer Initiative of North Carolina, and I'm going to find this other post. And actually I'm going to go to these photos because actually, let me see. Here it is. I just found this picture the other day. I just saw it and I thought, oh, that was a great picture. Apparently I saw it a couple of years ago, but I'd forgotten that it existed. Well, I want to share this post with Sandy. So I'm going to click share, and I'm going to share to, I'm going to share on a friend's profile. I'm going to click on that. And then it's going to ask me, and I'm going to say, I'm going to share to Sandy Oler's profile.
I didn't know you could do that. That's cool.
Yep. And then I'm going to post it. And so depending on Sandy's settings, we may or may not be able to immediately see that post on her page. So let's go to Sandy's page. And okay, so she does not have it set up to where approval is needed to post on her page. So my post immediately went up. Now, some people will have it set up to where they'll get a notification that says, you know, Jennifer Ersick shared a post, do you approve? And then you have to say add to profile. And you can change that in your settings. So by going to settings and privacy here, this little downward facing triangle in the upper right, and then settings and privacy, there's a lot of different things you can do in here. And I think maybe it's activity log. I'd have to take some time to look through here, but like your posts, activity you're tagged in, like if you want to have a lot of control over what goes on your page, you can set up all kinds of you know, settings to prevent people from posting on your page and that sort of thing. So Liz, were you able to find?
No,
No? Okay.
I went
did
under
you-
notifications. It wasn't under that, so
Okay,
I'm under home now.
okay.
Oh, what was, well, a lot of people that want to be friends I didn't know about. I don't get on very often, so this is all new.
Yeah.
My
yeah.
husband is the expert at this, not
Could you
me.
try clicking on menu
Yep,
and then click on friends? And do you see it there maybe?
yep, I see it now.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, I just confirmed you.
Okay, so I'm gonna refresh. And now it just, the cancel request has gone away because now we're friends. So if I click on you, I can see that we have 4 mutual friends. And so Sandy, your settings must be set up that friends of friends can view your friend list. So now it does
Okay.
show, it does show that we are indeed friends. And I can see the things that are posted on Liz's page as well. Okay, so let's see, we covered sharing of a post. Let's talk about, see, I want to go for about 5 more minutes and then take a short break. We talked about sharing posts, we talked about sharing now. There are a few different options in the Facebook guide that's posted on the charlotttelungeforward.org website that you can look through, how to share to a group versus a friend's profile versus a page, that kind of thing. Let's talk about events, because for every Charlotte Lunge Forward, and I think for the other events as well, there's always going to be an event that the Lung Cancer Initiative group has set up. So I'm going to click on the home and I'm going to take us back to our home page. And if you remember in the beginning, I showed you over here, you have a lot of different options for things. One of those options is events. And so if you click on events, you're going to see a lot of, you know, different things. So your events will show up. So under your events is anything that you've said you're interested in or going to. So, and it can be anything. It can be a, you know, a big organized event like the Charlotte Lunge Forward 5K. Or it can be like, you know, my friend sells Mary Kay and she's having a clearance sale. So it can really be anything. And then you can actually also discover events in your area or events that your friends are going to or things that are online, all these different categories. So, you know, those are a couple ways to find events. But every year, the Charlotte or the Raleigh Lunge Forward, Liz, remind me, you're the Raleigh event, correct?
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to type in Raleigh Lunge Forward, or it's Triangle, sorry.
Yeah, it's triangle.
Triangle Lunge Forward. Okay, and so this kind of popped up for me, so I'm just going to click on that. And I can see here that there's the Triangle Lunge Forward, Saturday, September 24th at 8 a.m. in Raleigh. And that's the one that I'm interested in attending. So I'm going to star this as interested. And you can see it's also like kind of giving me other things that are related. So the Charlotte Lunge Forward popped up. This is an old event. I'm not actually sure how to remove these events, but that may be something that Lung Cancer Initiative could look into, because I have noticed that sometimes there are old events still listed in the events sections. But anyways, I'm going to go back to my homepage and I'm going to click on events again. And now if I click see all, I have my Charlotte event. I have these few things I'm interested in down here. And if I keep scrolling, I can see the triangle lunge forward is listed here as well. So now I'm going to change this to going. And this is going to change the number here on their tally to going as well. So 3 people going, 1 interested. If I click on this, it gives me details about the event. And, you know, we can see that 10 people have responded. There's a new location at Dix Park. You know, it's probably too early for a website link, but these are the friends that are going. These are friends that are not yet going, but I could invite to go with me. So that's what we're going to do next. So we're going to talk about, we've talked about being interested in the event. We've talked about going to the event. When you note these things, interested in going, like you'll get little reminders that the event is going to happen as well. But I want to invite some of my friends to the triangle lunge forward. So it's really nice. It just pulls up, you know, you can invite up to 500 people. So I'm going to invite Sandy. I'm going to invite Paige. Paige is probably going to be like, why are you inviting me to this? I'm definitely going. I'm going to invite Jen Colin. You know, I'm just going to invite some people that I think might go. I'm going to invite my husband. And then I'm going to send invites. And basically what happens is Sandy will get a notification that I've invited her to my event or this event. And then she can decide whether or not she's interested or going.
Okay, so I could do, that could be a way, and you could do share with all your friends, right? Also, or would that get you, I mean, would that cause a problem if you just shared it with all your friends?
Yeah, so you could share, like if you wanted to, you could share on a friend's profile. But what we did was we just like privately invited people.
Yeah, so you can do it either way.
Yeah, you could do all friends and then click select all and it would go to everybody.
So that's the generic event, but I guess if you have your own fundraising page, you would go start from there and then share that instead of the whole event.
Yeah,
both.
like if
Or
you
can you do both?
Yeah, you could do both. You could do both. So you could invite somebody to the event and then you could create a post and invite somebody to join, you know, I shouldn't use the word invite, but you could create a post and share it with your followers that brings them to your team page or your personal page.
Yeah, so it's better, I guess, to start with your personal page and then add the link for the organization maybe, or.
Yeah, so what I usually do, to be honest, I don't often use the event invitation. I think it's a great way to let people know, but a lot of my friends and people that I would invite already know about this event because I've been involved with it for a long time. So typically what I like to do, and I think let's see if it's on here. We did a post in the beginning, this one. So typically what I like to do is link to my personal page. And I can show you how to do this offline, Liz, but I have a very short link that links to my participant center.
Yeah, I have that. I just never find myself, I need to do more about posting it.
Yeah.
Or I know how to do it, you know, and then.
Okay.
You're better at maneuvering all this stuff.
Well, I've had a lot of practice over the years. So that's inviting folks to an event. So why don't we take just a short couple-minute break and we'll come back at like maybe a minute or two after 7. And I think we'll shift gears and focus next on the participant center within the charlottelungeforward.org website. Just a reminder, if you guys are looking for information on this training today, you can go to charlottelungeforward.org and scroll about halfway down or a little ways down, and you can click on our Facebook how-to guide, and it will show you a lot of the things we talked about today, step by step,
That's
as
great.
well as some things that we haven't discussed today because we just don't have enough time in the day.
Wow, this is fabulous. It's great.
Yeah, thank you. So let's just take a pause for a few moments and we'll reconvene in just a couple minutes. All right. I think we can probably go ahead and get started again. Sandy, Rachel, Liz, are you guys with me?
Yep, I'm back.
Okay,
I'm here.
cool. Thank you. All right, so the remainder of our training, the next 30 minutes or so, is going to focus on the participant center. So anybody who registers for the Charlotte Lunge Forward automatically gets a participant center assigned to them for free at the time of their registration. So if I type in our Charlotte race website, which is charlottelungeforward.org, it redirects me to the Charlotte Lunge Forward page. And you can see I have start a team, join a team, register as an individual, donate. We can see all the teams, we can search participants, we can find race info, schedule, all of this great stuff that is listed on our Charlotte Lunge Forward site. And you can navigate to different areas. You can see our Charlotte sponsors, Atrium Health and Charlotte Radiology, as well as some of our lower tier sponsors. We can go to the volunteer page to get more information on who to contact if we want to volunteer. And then you'll notice, like up here in this, very discreetly in this green box, this login button. So that is going to log us into the participant center. So I'm just going to click on that. And this is going to be your Lung Cancer Initiative username and password that you set up when you registered for the event. So I am going to put in my information here and then click log in. And then you'll notice that instead of just this one little green login box, now we have a welcome Jennifer message and a new box that says participant center. So if I click on welcome Jennifer, that's just going to show me, it's going to take me into my participant center, just as if I'm going to go back for a moment, just as if I clicked on participant center. They both take me to the same thing, the participant center. And so the nice thing about the participant center is once you set it up, it remembers you from year to year. So all of the stuff that's showing up in my participant center is showing up because I set all of this stuff up last year and it just carries over. And so you can see there's a ton of stuff here. So let's walk down this pretty slowly. So the first thing this little guide tells you to do is update your personal page. So it says update your personal page symbol above. I'm not really sure why it says that, but if you scroll down, you'll see.
I can edit that. I'll
Okay.
edit that. Thanks.
Okay. You'll see here where it says personal page, and it tells you the link to your personal page. It gives you a title for your page and then body. And you can see here to the right, you can edit the content of your personal page. So this is my content that I've created. And every year the Lung Cancer Initiative auto-populates everybody's personal page. So all you have to do is just go in there and make it unique to you. So I believe this stuff was already there and this stuff was already there. And what I did was I added this little sentence right here about my father-in-law, Gary Smith, who we lost to lung cancer last year. And then you just click save, and that is your new, see, it says personal page content was successfully saved. And so you can view it here in the body. And then you also have the opportunity to update a photo and include a caption if you want. So this is me and my friend Marie at the 2019 Charlotte Lunge Forward. So then when anybody goes to your personal page, and I'm going to click this link, this is what they see. So they see your title, they see the body of your text, they see your picture, and then you can choose to donate to Jennifer or join my team, Warriors in White. And it looks like I have not done a very great job of fundraising this year, but you know, we're still in it, so there's still time. Okay, so I'm going to go back. And so that's your personal page. Then if we look here, it says send out suggested emails to your friends and family asking for their support. But before we do that, I want to draw your attention to this little section that has to do with you and your team. So every person that registers has a personal page and a team page. And if you're a team captain, you have the ability to edit your team page. So thinking about just me, everybody is assigned a fundraising goal at the beginning. I believe $100 because I don't think I've edited this yet. But you can click edit goal and you can change it to whatever you want to make your goal. And so what I like to do is start small, and then every time I reach my goal, I change it. And I try to keep getting people, you know, because when you're close to your goal, people want to help you get there. And they might be willing to donate that last $25 to get you to reach your goal. And then you can just go in here and change your goal again. It's for a good cause, right? So that's for you. And then you can also do that for your team. So like, say you have a team of 4. So I actually have a team of 3 people, me, my husband, and my mother-in-law. So my goal might be $500, but our team goal, I can edit. And I want everybody on my team collectively to raise $1,000. So you can change that there as well. And this will show up on your team page as well. So remember, this was originally on me, and we had our personal page URL, our personal page information, our personal picture. When you click to my team, now you have the links to the team page and to the team paragraph. So you can see my language is a little different here. So instead of, my father-in-law, we're honoring my father-in-law, the language is Team Warriors in White will be participating, and I hope you join us. But you can put whatever you want, and I put a little different. This is our team mascot, my dog, Cody. And then it also tells you everybody who's on your team. So if I wanted to have a co-captain, I could, this is the current team captain. I could click my husband here and make him a co-captain. And then I can save that. And now he's a captain of the team as well. So he would be able to like edit this team text, edit the picture, that kind of thing. Okay, so my team here, and then me here. And then you'll notice when I go to my team URL, again, it looks different. So the focus is not on Jen Ersick, it's on Team Warriors in White, and you can donate to the team or join the team here. And then this shows that the little star denotes the team captain. So you can see that change that we made for Adam to be a co-captain. He is now listed as a co-captain. And then you can see here that we changed our goal to $1,000. And so, now we're 15% to goal because I made our goal higher. So you can see all that stuff on your team page.
Go back down now to the share, because that's the part. I'm all good with all this. And actually on the URL settings, can't you change the team name to your team name under the URL so that it actually has your name in it?
Yeah, you can. You could change it here.
Yeah.
You could add your team name there as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So you could do it that way, or I like Bitly because I think people can remember Bitly better than like all of this.
Right.
So I like to use Bitly, but whatever your preference is.
Say now, you like to use what?
It's called Bitly, and it's bit.ly.
Okay.
And basically what you do is you copy this,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go to bit.ly, and wow, it took me directly to my site because I had already.
You've already done
up.
it.
Yeah, because
So
I've
that's
already
for
done.
any website. Is that for any link that you can change to a name that you want instead of the
Correct.
name that's there? Okay.
Yep,
And so you
for
went
anything.
to bitly.com?
It's bit.ly.
Okay.
Yeah, just type that in your Google and it should come up.
Okay, that's helpful.
And then it saves all of your short URLs. So,
Okay.
and you can like click copy and right from there, do everything if you'd like.
Okay.
Okay, so you've got your personal page set up, you've got your team page set up, you've changed your goals, you have all your text and your pictures to make everything look pretty. Now I suggest sending emails to your friends and family asking for their support. So the first thing you want to do here, we've already set up our personal page. We're going to add contacts to our address book. So every participant center has an address book. And this is where you can go in and type in everybody's email addresses. And they each year this resets. So this says never emailed. This means that this year I have 31 contacts and I have not emailed any of them. So I'm going to email them all right now. So I'm going to click all contacts, email all. And I'm going to use a template. So templates are set up by the Lung Cancer Initiative, and they're really easy ways to like quickly get content in a few different areas. So if you are asking for a donation, you can click on support me, or you can click on support me too. That's a different template. There's a thank you template here. There's a create your own template if you'd like to create your own template. And then it has these different layouts as well. So I want to choose the Charlotte LUNGe 20. Well, no, I don't want to choose that because it's not 2021 anymore. So I'm going to choose general LUNGe forward. And I'm going to use the template support me. So it auto populates everything here. And so I can read through this and just make sure that this works for me. And then anything that's in red text, you're gonna need to edit. So I don't wanna, I wanna make sure my name shows up there. So it's in red, which I don't want. I want it to be black. So I'm gonna go up here to these options here and wherever I can find the font color. Normally there's an option for font color up here. I'm not exactly sure why. In that case, I'd probably just delete it and then retype it. And then I want to include a personalized greeting. So, and this essentially tells you, that it's going to put the person's name in the email. And once you get that done, you can do preview and you'll see like, okay, something's not right here. Cause like, dear contact first name, dear friends and family. Not, that's not right. So I might take this include personalized greeting off, and then go back to preview and send. And so now it just says, dear friends and family. This is probably just an attachment, that picture that's at the bottom. And that looks okay to me. The formatting's a little off here at the bottom, but I could go up here and just change that. And then do another preview. It's a little back and forth the first time. But so there's the email, and then a link to your personal page will automatically be included in the email, which is great. And so I could click send, and this would send to everybody. I'm actually not going to send this right now because I do want to go through my contact list and make sure I have everybody in there that I want to email. But you get the idea. It's like a really easy, quick way to reach out to people who are in your who you've already added to your address book.
And you say your address book, you're talking about just for this event?
Yes. So,
Not
well,
all your
so
contacts, obviously.
so the address book is going to be for your participant center. So to get to your address book, you're going to go over here to all contacts, and you can get to it a couple different places. And then over here, see where it says add contact? You click on that, and that will give you the ability to enter in somebody's name, first name, last name, and their email. And then you can see like that I can delete. They don't need to get an email from me. This one is the same email twice. I can delete one of them.
And then as you put those names in from year to year, they carry over, correct?
They do. Yes, they carry over from year to year.
But when you start for the first time, does it go through all your contacts? So you have to kind of
you have to add them
manage
all.
it the first time, right?
Yes, the first time you have to add everybody you want to add in there.
Yeah, so okay, so more of a process that first time.
The first time it is a little bit of a process, but sometimes like I never added some of these people. They registered for my team, and then their email was embedded within my team. So I didn't actually have to add them.
Right.
And Jen, can you import? I noticed the import contacts.
You can, and I will be honest with you, I have not done this because I like to have a lot of control over exactly who's getting these emails. I don't want to accidentally email to somebody who shouldn't be emailed. But if you are savvy, you could probably import, using these options here.
Once you import them from, say, Gmail, then you have to delete the ones you don't want.
Correct. And I've had my Gmail account for a really long time. So I probably have tons of email addresses that I would not want.
Yeah, so like 80% you don't want to probably include.
Exactly. So for me personally, I liked to add them individually, and that's what worked for me. But if you are willing to do the work to clean up and take out people that you don't want to mail and that kind of thing, then you certainly can go to import and try that.
Right.
Now, the other thing that's nice over here is that this gives you a tally on folks who fall into different categories. And Sandy, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is for each new year. Is that correct?
That's how I always understood it to be. Yes.
Okay. So like you can see here that I've had one donor and I've thanked them because I have 0 unthanked donors. I have 5 teammates and I can click on that and it tells me who the 5 teammates are. I have 24 people in my address book that are not teammates, and I have 13 who are past teammates. So some of these are the same as my current teammates, but like Sharon Bougie, she decided to join a different team this year. So she's a past teammate. So that's kind of nice to see, like, make sure you're reaching out to the people who were involved previously. Going back to compose message for a minute, I do want to just point out, like, here's the thank you template that's already created, that you can edit to however you would like. So say you're like, I don't like the word supporting. I like the word contributing to my journey. Maybe you want to have view updates from Team Warriors in white, and you want to include your website. So I made all these edits, right? Like I added that, I changed this word. I'm gonna delete this, and I'm gonna say sincerely Jen Nursick and Team Warriors in white. And I want to be able to use the same thing next year. I can go down and I can click save as template. And it tells me my template was successfully saved. So then I have, now you saw that there was a thank you and another, but now I have your saved templates listed here. So I'll have that next year as well. So I have, this is a new account for me. I did have some saved templates from, I actually created a new account this year for other reasons, but I did have I had a couple different thank you templates for thank you for joining my team. So when I would get a new team member, I would send them a thank you for joining my team email. I had one that was specific to monetary donations. I had one that was specific to in-kind donations. And so I would use those templates whenever I needed to, as they were appropriate. All right. Any other? I think I've covered most of what I wanted to cover for the participant center. We talked about sending email. We talked about thanking donors. We talked about adding the contacts to your address book. Anything else, Sandy, that you can think of that we would want to share on the participant center?
But well, you scroll down, Jen, all the way in, and that's where you could hit the Facebook post from your, does that go directly from your post, your Facebook center to that, I mean, your page to that Facebook, to Facebook?
Well, let's find out.
That's the part I want to do, is how do I transfer my information quickly to Facebook?
Yeah, so this is actually just a link to the Lung Cancer Initiative Facebook site.
Okay.
I do believe that the Lung Cancer Initiative is working on some Facebook integration from Participant Center to Facebook, but I don't think that that is available at this time.
I will say that's, I'm involved with a pancreatic cancer organization called PanCan, and they do. You can go right to you go right from your participant page and it says, would you like to post this on Facebook? And you can click on it right from your page, which is really nice.
Yeah, it is very nice. And hopefully we will have that some point in the future.
We are working hard on that. We've been working on it for a while.
It's not as easy as you think it would be.
Interesting. I figured it was standard.
No,
Yeah.
Facebook is not the easiest to deal with.
The same thing with Instagram and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. It gets a little more tricky when you integrate sites with Facebook. So I know that Lung Cancer Initiative is working really hard to try to get that to work for us. I know that they know it's a really important piece to make it very easier. I think we would get more use out of the participant center if that was a possibility.
It's huge. I mean, it would brought me hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. So any other questions on Participant Center or Facebook before we wrap this up for the evening?
Hey, Jen, I just added the bit.ly thing to my post for my team.
Great. Should I check it out on your
Please
Facebook?
do.
Right. It was that easy, wasn't it, Rachel?
It wasn't bad.
Look at that. Look at that.
Good for you.
There we go. Perfect. Look, you got a beautiful picture there. You've got a nice story. This is really great, Rachel. Good work.
Just got no team members, but we're working on that.
It's a work in process. We're getting closer and closer to race day. So, well, this has been really great, guys. If you've watched the training video recording and you have any feedback for us, please feel free to share with Sandy if there's something specifically that you would like training on in the future. Also, please reach out to Sandy at Sandy, tell us your email address.
solar@lungcancerinitiative.nc.org. And it's
Great.
all over, it really is all over the website too. So
Great. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to stop our recording.